Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the episode of Dreadlocks. I'm Gunther the Great, and today we're going to be looking at Keith Cozart's Dreadlocks. Obviously, you guys all know him by Chief Keef. Chief Keef is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, and record producer. Keef's music became very popular during his teen years in the early 2010s. So guys, I don't know why I haven't done a Chief Keef episode yet. I just never really got around to it. And the reason being is because he has more of a traditional style of dreadlocks, which is okay, and it's really cool to be able to make a video on him, and I'll explain everything behind a traditional style of dreadlocks. He most likely got his dreadlocks around either 2008 or 2010, around that time frame, not exactly sure, but around that time, you know, YouTube was still kind of new and there wasn't really much stuff on the internet and figuring ways out to get dreadlocks. So a lot of people back in that time frame got their dreadlocks a traditional route. And then I'll explain what method I believe he used to get his dreadlocks, but they didn't have sponge rub. Of course they probably did, but it wasn't very popular and people weren't using it to get dreadlocks. They used the sponge to just get curls on the top. From what I know, nobody was really using crochet needles, and people probably were doing all these methods, but they were very underground. I mean, two-strand twists weren't really that popular, and let me mention again, I know people were probably doing it, but it wasn't a very popular way of actually starting your dreadlocks out. Back then it was a lot of beeswax, a lot of just locking gel. I know most popular back then was wax, and a lot of people used waxes. So he could possibly fall into the category of actually using wax to start out his dreadlocks, so that could possibly be it. But I don't believe he did start out with wax, and even if he did, I wouldn't recommend it for you guys. I know that he most likely started out with some sort of twisting with gel, and Jamaican Mango and Lime locking gel was still out back then, so I'm almost positive he uses it nowadays, especially with him doing two-strand twists and other hairstyles. I don't know if I've seen him braid his hair before, but he does wear two-strand twists quite a bit, and that's what I wanted to list as one of his hairstyles that he wears. He wears probably just two hairstyles. Sometimes he'll wear his hair in a ponytail. I've noticed he'll have the curly ponytail, and the reason his hair does become curly is because of the two-strand twist. And that's what I see him most frequently now. Before, he would always just wear his hair down, but it's pretty interesting to see him broaden the spectrum a little bit and doing different hairstyles. Because, I mean, I remember Chief Keef growing up and his hair was just always down in his face. And I think it's just because of the culture shifting, especially with dreadlocks in the rapper community. Things have obviously changed. But guys, the method is definitely twisting with gel. I'm not sure if he used wax back then. Could have possibly been, but I'm not sure. But since I'm not recommending waxes to you guys, use Jamaican Mango and Lime. I can definitely say that hands down, that's most likely how he started, with twisting with gel. And that's why I call it a traditional method, because that's how a lot of people typically get them. It's more traditional. It's the way that people know how to get dreadlocks if they don't know anything about dreadlocks. And I'm not saying everyone who gets twisted with gel dreadlocks doesn't know anything about dreadlocks. I'm saying people from the outside looking in, they think that you have to twist your hair in order to get dreadlocks, which isn't always necessarily the case, because dreadlocks are essentially just your hair locked up. So in that case, we know now that you can go in and actually maintenance yourself with crochet needling and literally create dreadlocks yourself versus twisting them. And that's why I'm saying that's a traditional route, doing the twisting method, which is completely fine. And they turn out very maintained and they look very good if you were to go that route. But it really just depends on what you want to achieve. Because if you look at Chief Keef's hair, it looks very different than if you were to look at Lil Pump's hair. It looks different than if you were to look at Young Thug's hair. If you were to look at Lil Uzi Vert, if you were to look at XXXTentacion, they're very different. Chief Keef's looks very different compared to theirs, and that's because they had more of a messier look, and messy isn't a bad thing. All the people that I listed off have a very unique style look of dreads. And the thing about Chief Keef's is they look like someone, I'll just put it this way, if you look at Chief Keef, it looks like how you would expect dreadlocks to look. But if you look at someone like Basquiat, Bob Marley, or Sway Lee, or somebody who kind of went like a freeform route, or used a sponge rub or something like that, that makes their dreadlocks look way more distinct and unique. You could tell the difference big time, but there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to go with a very maintained look, then go with twisting with gel, because that is the best looking way, hands down. But guys, like I mentioned, you want to use Jamaican Mango and Lime locking gel. I'm linking that down below. That is the product of the day, and I definitely stand by this product 100%. It's my favorite locking gel, and I recommend it to all of you guys. You can also pick this up on Dreadlocks.com, which has, you know, crochet needle, dread sponge, dreadlock shampoo, anything you need for your dreadlocks is on greatlocks.com. So make sure to go check that out. And also there's tutorials on there on how to get dreadlocks. It's literally a website for everything you need for your hair to literally start and maintain your dreadlocks. But guys, other than that, comment down below who you'd like to see next, and thank you for requesting this video. I don't know why I put it off for so long, but I hope you guys did really enjoy it. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.